Hi guys, good morning. It is Friday morning and I have a couple of hours before I have to go to the dentist office, and I wanted to get up this morning and have my coffee and work on an eye and video an eye. These are the eyes that I have done thus far. Let's see. This is Boss's eye. He's my pup. That's his eye. This is a cat eye. I'll zoom in a little bit. That's a cat eye. These three are already on Pigment. That is a little boy's eye. And this is a hound dog's eye. A hound dog that I've already worked on. So let's see, these three eyes, that one, and that, no, not that one. Those two I've already done in an actual portrait of an animal. This one was a new one, but I did that cat eye, and then this one was a new one. And I'm just gonna try to work on this page and fill it up with as many eyes. It's gonna look weird, but maybe it'll help. And I'm drinking my coffee at the same time, so excuse the rawness of this video. That was a coffee drink. The one thing when you get to YouTube and you're watching the video, if you want to speed it up, you can, there's a place where you can click on the, I think it's the top right when you're watching a video, and it'll say playback speed, and you can do it. A few different speeds, but sometimes if I'm looking at my own video and watching how it progresses, I'll put it on the 2.0, which is the fastest speed, and it'll show, it shows it going along a lot quicker, and you can still hear what I'm saying if you want to, if you choose to, and you can still hear it. It just sounds like a little sped up, like I'm, on crack cocaine kind of. Not that I know what that's like, but that's what it sounds like, or meth. Anyway, this is the eye that I'm going to work on. Somebody in Pigment did this as a grayscale eye. I think it was maybe, I don't know who it was, DONR. Anyway, okay, so what I do is I get a split screen going. This is my hand. Y'all have seen my hand that I can't do much with except draw. Let's see. I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to bring down my, no, that's not what I meant to do. Come on now. There we go. I'm going to bring down this screen so that I can videotape the actual screen. And so now it's videotaping. And I'm going to bring up my animal eyes. And then what I do is switch hands. This is very awkward for me because I got my coffee. I haven't moved this coffee. Okay, so what I do is let's see. So I have my split screen with my reference photo over here. I always have a reference photo most of the time, unless I'm doing some abstract thing. I make it smaller. So this is my subject that I'm gonna work on. I go over here to color. And then I'm gonna zoom in to an area that I wanna work with, which is gonna be this area right here. I'm gonna try to fit this eye in there, which I mean, this shouldn't be too hard. Okay. So now I'm just gonna try set this like this and draw. All right, I'm gonna get a kind of darker shade so that I can outline my eye. I almost always start with watercolor just to get the basic outline of whatever I'm gonna do. Okay, so I started with watercolor, about this size of a brush on pretty low opacity, and now I just kind of, oh, that's too big of a brush, so smaller brush. I'm just going to kind of outline the shape of the eye. That's still kind of too big, so make it smaller, lower opacity. Okay, this kind of gives me just, this eye is a pretty, just a regular straight on eye. So the shape is just kind of like normal instead of at a weird angle. So to me, it's going to be, I say this, it might be hard, but to me, it's going to be easier to do than some of the ones that are, you know, that are at a weird angle, like that child's eye right there. That was, anything that's at a different angle, you really have to look at perspective. But this is straight. This is just a straightforward, straight eye. And then once I get the shape of the eye, I always look at the iris and where it's placed in the eye. If you can see right here, her iris, it doesn't quite come down to touch the bottom of her eyelid, the bottom lid. And so you can see it's oh, that was my stomach. You can see it's circular, but the top eyelid crosses over it. So you just have to make sure that you are looking at, you know, where is the eye looking? This is a great eye to do because the lid comes and crosses over the top of the iris, and it makes her look, this is a her, because I'm assuming that's a her eye, a she eye. It makes her look relaxed, and it's a dead-on look. So, I mean, this is a great eye to do, because if you pull it off, I mean, it's just a stunning eye, and the colors are really good. So, okay. So I got my general eye lid shape. This comes in, crosses over. The iris doesn't quite come to the bottom. And usually what I do is I'll just kind of fill in my iris. And then kind of using the watercolor brush, I'm just going to kind of put like her, she's got kind of a purplish, and in this picture I might change the color of her eyeshadow when I get a little further along, but I'm changing the color, but just to do this, just to get the eyelid in there. Oh my gosh, my stomach is rumbling. And that is the eyeshadow that I just put on this chick is way too overkill, but I'll change that. That's the thing about pigment, and I say this all the time, is don't be afraid to try stuff, because you can change everything. I mean, I did something recently where, oh, the girl, oh my gosh, that girl's face. There was a picture of a model that I wanted to do recently, and because she was just stunning looking, and I just took a screenshot of her, and I was like, the lighting and everything, it made her skin look just so luminous, and I was like, this is something I want to do. I think I can do it. I think I can recreate the colors and everything, and it didn't look like something I was gonna have a hard time doing. Oh my God, it took forever, and I'm not even lying. I had like 100 different, I'm gonna actually put this down so I can show you what I'm talking about. Over here, these are my photos. So if I tap and I go up here, these are like all my little screenshots that I do. Look at this. And I deleted probably 100 of these. But this is what I do is, you know, I save my work at all different stages. So this was one of the first stages. And then I can go down here. I'm trying to do this and look at the same time. I can go down here and just watch the face change. Is that not cool? And I kept working and kept working and kept working, and I finally got it. I finally got her face right. But I mean, I was satisfied with that. But let me show you the actual photograph. Look at this girl. Oh my gosh. I mean, just stunning, stunning, stunning. Okay, so that was that. I just wanted to show what I do when I'm working. I'm constantly saving and comparing, and I'm not saying that whatever I'm doing has to be perfect and has to look exactly like my reference picture at all, but something about her I was not satisfied with. It was her face she didn't look happy. And I just kept working and working until I could kind of get that right. And at one point I was like, forget it, I'm not working on this anymore. I've spent way too much time on it. And then a couple days later, I did a couple more things, and then a couple days later, I was like, this chick is not going to, she's not going to beat me. I'm going to get this right. So, okay, I'm going to go over here and get some skin tone in here. I usually use something around here. So, instead of this white, I'm going to put some actual realistic looking skin tone. Hopefully it's realistic. And I might change it. Okay. And what I did a minute ago is I went in and I worked on the color of her actual eye. What I usually do for the color of the eyeball is I come over here, and it doesn't matter what color you're in as far as the color wheel. I always come over here. These are grays. It goes all the way from, you know, absolute white up here to gray, and I usually start about right there. And then I'll show you what I do is I come here and I put in the color of her eyeball, and I just kind of tap it in. I'm going to change to pencil in a minute and it'll get more defined, but I just kind of put that color so it looks like a white eyeball. And then as the eye goes further around, that doesn't make any sense, as you get to the corners of the eye, basically, I make it a darker gray because eyes are not, they're not flat. They're, you know, whatever they are. They're not round. They're, I guess, oblong or whatever. But in order to make it look realistic, it's got to get a little darker in the corners. So it looks like it's got some depth, and it brings the eye, and that might be too much, but it brings the eye to life, kind of. Okay, so this eye has, I'm gonna go ahead and switch to pencil because I have more control when I'm working with pencil. So once I get the shape of the eye pretty set, I switch over to pencil, and that's pretty much what I use, is like a bigger, not brush, but lead, I guess, and then kind of a bigger opacity. And I'm going to go back to the eye, and I'm going to go ahead and work on the iris. Let's see, is that going to focus? I don't know if that's in focus, I can't really see. All right, so I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to use my pencil and come across the eye. Use a smaller lid. I'm switching it up as I'm drawing. Smaller lid. And it looks like kind of the shape of the eye. So this actually comes in a little more. Okay, I'm going to work on the iris. It actually comes over to the inner corner a little more. And then down, almost touching the lower lid, but not quite. Then it goes around, and then just kind of stops at the upper lid. I just put that little bright, the reflection spot there to kind of show me where, just for perspective of where that bright spot's going to be, but I'm going to change it as I go. Okay, so her eye is green. So what I do now is I come over here and I pick usually like a sage green, kind of. And the center is always going to be black. Well, not, yeah, the center is always going to be black-ish. But I'm doing the green right now. And I go over here and I pick a black on my, and this is when I can go in up here and do a higher opacity, smaller brush. And I can put in her iris, not iris, sorry, the pupil. And the pupil is pretty much in the middle of the eye in this reference. You see? All right, so I'm trying to put the pupil there. I gotta call my mom today. I meant to call her last night. Sorry, Mom. I know she's gonna be watching this. She fell yesterday at the nursing home that she is residing in, and she sent me a text that said, well, you know, I just fell, I'm okay, but got tangled up in the walker and And so I immediately called her. I was sitting here, so I called her, and she was pretty shaken up. She was fine. She didn't get hurt, well, except her feelings. Her feelings were hurt a little bit. She did, her walker kind of tripped her up, but it also broke her fall, so she didn't actually hit the ground hard, which is good because she has, her cancer is in her bones, so they've told her that basically if she falls on that hard floor, she will break something. So it's just like, it's so scary because it's just scary. And every time I get a phone call from the nursing home, I think that she has fallen, and it's usually not even something serious. But yesterday, she called me to tell me, and then as I was FaceTiming her and talking to her about it, the actual nursing home called me to tell me. So that made me feel good that they were on it. So I'm going to call her when I finish this eyeball. I'm going to call her and see how her arm is today, because it was already bruising up yesterday. She got it hung up on the walker. So her balance has gotten pretty bad. I mean, it wasn't great when she was here, but it's gotten bad. Okay, so as I moved towards the inner part of the eye, I'm going lighter, because if you have green eyes, you know what, and I might actually change up the outer color of the eye. But if you have green eyes, as I do, I have green eyes, or kind of hazel. Sometimes they're green, sometimes they're hazel. But what they actually are on the, it's kind of like that girl I was working on. The outside part of the eye is actually like a bluish color, a dark bluish color. And then as you move towards the center of the eye, it gets like orangish, and it makes them look like they're green. There's yellow, there's orange. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna put like this color in the center. I'm trying to. And then like a yellowish color. Maybe right there. I'm still using the pencil. These are just lines coming out from the center. Probably go around and do like that, like kind of a brownish color around the top. Oops, sorry. Go over here like this. And I'm going to go back to the green and put some green in the middle. Usually the greenish part of a green eye is kind of in the middle. I don't know if I'm making any sense with that, but okay, so I'm going to work on the eyelid, the top eyelid. You see how the eyelid comes up, and then it looks like this woman has kind of almost like a hooded eyelid. It just comes and kind of covers a little bit of that top eyelid. So the way you do that is come over here and you get a blacker color. I'm going to keep my pencil the same opacity. Okay, this is weird because I'm trying to, okay, there we go. Hopefully I can hold this. This is weird because I'm holding it with my left hand while I'm trying to draw with my right hand. Here we go. You could bring it over. And usually when I'm actually doing this without trying to record it all jacked up like this, I'm turning the eye so I can get these arcs right, because it's hard for me to do this at this angle right here. I can do this angle really well, but this angle over here, this arc is hard for me to do. But anyway, you get the idea. Bringing it over. And then I'm gonna come over here and make the brush smaller and actually draw it in a little darker. Okay, and then the bottom lid. The bottom lid is tricky, but once you get it, you get it. There's the bottom lid. But then there's also, oops, that's good. There's this inner water line. See that inner water line? And that's the kind of a creamy color. So the inner water line is going to be about like at that color. So I go in with my pencil and I just draw a thin, and it's not even like a flesh color. I'm like looking for a kind of a darker peachish color. It kind of comes up, oops, sorry. There's a cross right there, then here, and then the eye. It's got that little corner right there. Let's see if I'm doing it right. And then it's got a little corner right here going into the upper lid. Nope. And then, I mean, if you're gonna make it realistic, you have to. If I'm gonna make it realistic, I have to just draw everything, every part of this that I see. And what I see right here is I have the, there you go. You have the inner water line, and then there's a dark line separating it from the eyeball itself. So I go over here and I'm gonna zoom in so I can do this, like this one. So that's my reference. Okay, so there's kind of a darker line right here. Oh, it's even darker than that. off from the lower lid. See that? And this actually goes down here. And it's across right here. This is a very, very difficult angle for me to draw with my hand, but this is the key, is if you're going to do an eye and make it look realistic, you got to put the time in and actually do it. You know, you got to spend some time and actually study and see what do I see, what makes this eye look realistic. And I'm brightening up the eyeball itself right now because I want to make sure it comes down here and it doesn't touch the water line, so that you can see where that changes. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I'm just trying to pay attention, so I might be quiet. Yeah, it's funny. When I first started doing pigment, everybody's like, yeah, it's supposed to be, you know, coloring. It's supposed to be therapeutic and relaxing, and, you know, it uses the brain and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, that'll be good. And I think I've talked about this before in my videos, but when I'm doing, it doesn't matter if I'm coloring a line art that somebody else has done or I'm doing something like this, I find myself, my stomach is completely tight. It's like I'm holding my breath and I have to make myself breathe. Just remember to breathe. I should probably have some kind of meditation thing going while I'm doing this. But I'm like holding my breath because I'm concentrating so hard on getting the details. Look at that. We're getting there. Okay, there's this little brightness up here. And then there's also this top line. So I'm just going to kind of do this. It's a little bit of a top line to the eyelid before she's got her eye liner on. So I'm doing the black line of the top lid, and then there's like a little light spot, and then this line comes across. That's the eyeliner line. The eyeliner line. And then she has her lid come across. And her lid, if you look over here, there's some white parts of her skin. This is how you make the top lid look a little hooded. I'm gonna get kind of a flesh color, grayish color. Come over here, a little less opacity, a little bigger brush. And then I'm gonna bring in the skin of her top portion of her lid in. constantly changing around the colors and the brushes, and if I try something that's not right, I'm changing it up. Okay, I'm going to go back to this dark color. Oops. The darker you make this line, it makes that crease in the eyelid deeper. And my eyes are sort of like this, so I know what this eye is like, because I spent a lot of years with my eyes. So this crease in the top lid, you know, that's where you put when you're doing makeup, that's where you put your darker color to really deepen that crease and make it look what's the word? Just kind of make your eye pop. I'm going to put this lighter part right there. That's what I'm working on right now. Okay. All right, what I'm going to do is, what am I going to do? Go to a greenish color, clean up the outer edge of that. Right now, I've got the basic shape of my eye, and you know, depending on how you want to do it, I mean, you can continue. You can work. I could work on this all day if I really wanted to, and really perfect it, and you know, use oil and make it really beautiful and make it pop. And I might spend more time. I don't even know what time it is. I gotta keep an eye on. It's 10 o'clock. Okay, I got 2 hours. I'm not gonna work on this for 2 hours. That's not what I meant. I'm just saying I have plenty of time. So what I will do is use oil and go in and really work on it. Okay, I'm making the eyeball right around the iris wider so that it gets darker in the corners, as I said before. And right now I'm just kind of making sure that this eye looks three-dimensional. And blending, I blend the colors to the corner. This gets kind of dark on that inner corner. And then this line, this kind of grayish line along the water line. And then there's also, if you look at this eye, there's also some gray. You just pay attention to the tiniest details if you want to, if you want to make it really look realistic. Really look realistic. That was a little redundant. I'm going to come along and just put some gray along this water line. And make this line in here. I don't know if y'all can hear Belle, but she's in there snoring like a grown man. Now I'm putting these lines, these little creases that are lighter creases, that are like skin creases. All right, what I want you to see here too, okay, if you look along this water line, we've done the actual water line, we've done the gray, we've done the gray that separates the water line from the eyeball, and then if you can see right here, there's a reflection. There's a reflection here, there's a reflection here, and then there's also a reflection here, and there's also these little light reflections going on in between the lashes, which we'll put in a minute, but right now I'm going to put this line right here. So I'll go over here to my skin tone color, and I'll pick a really light, the whitest I can, get. Go over here to small pencil, probably all the way opacity wise, and then I gotta lean over, see what I'm doing, and I put this reflection line right here. And I'm gonna do all of them right now, all of the little parts of reflection, just to get them set in there. There's this one, it kind of goes, looks like there's a window. It comes up. You can still sort of see that part of the pupil, so I'm going to leave that there. It goes around the pupil, or it looks like it goes around the pupil. Then it comes up here, and when we put the eyelashes in, the eyelashes are actually going to be reflected in this as well, which is kind of cool. Then I'm going to put like a lighter spot right here, just to kind of make it look reflective. There's the corner of the eye out here is lighter. It makes it look reflective. Then there's the line right here. See that line right here? Can you see it? It's right here. So it goes up. It goes up and over that reflective line. So if I really want to do it right, let me erase that. If I really to do it right, which I do. It's going to come up. Go over, oops, sorry. And then the green, there's a line dividing the eye from that reflection. So see, I'm constantly going in here and changing things like, oh, there's, oops. You know, I'll put the line and then I'll be like, oh, okay, there's a reflective line there. So I'm kind of shaving out a little part of this reflection right here so that that top line stands out, if that makes any sense. All right, let me go back to these lines. When you make this top part of the lid light like this, it gives it that hooded look. It makes it the appearance of that top part of the eye lid kind of hanging over the bottom part. You see right there how it gives it that illusion? Because everything that we do on paper or on everything that you do when you're drawing is you're making the illusion that it's 3D, that it has depth, because you're working on a 2D surface trying to make it look 3D. So it comes up like that. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so I can do the eyebrow. All right. Come over here and get kind of a dark brown. And with my pencil, I'm gonna hold it back here if I can do this. With my pencil, I'm just gonna put in the basic line of the eyebrow. And usually I just think about, when I'm doing this, I think about makeup. Like when I'm doing eyebrow, my own eyebrow, I come across, and then you have these hairs that come down like this. You want there to be an arch to the eyebrow to really frame the eye. Let me zoom out of this. The eyebrow usually starts about right there at the bridge of the nose. Then it's gonna go over like that. And here start coming down like this. And that's it. And that's just the basic shape of the eyebrow. I'll go in later and actual hair in. When I do the lashes and the hair, that's the last thing I do typically. All right, so this eye right here it's looking good. All right, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go in and start doing the lashes just to get them in there. And I do lashes usually a few times. Usually I'll put, okay, with my pencil I'm doing a small pencil tip and the highest opacity of whatever color I'm going to use is kind of a blackish brown. With my lashes I usually do them a few times. I'll go in and put them in first, and lashes come, they don't just go straight up, they actually come down and around. So to make it look realistic, actually do what lashes do in real life. They come down and go up. There's a couple that come up above that crease. And I use pencil now, but when I'm finishing up, I usually use oil and get the lashes really looking realistic. But right now I'm just using pencil. Sorry. I'll go back here so I can do this. Okay, and that inner waterline, lashes they come out of the bottom part of that waterline. So it's not like I'm going like this, because lashes, they don't come like this. They come out of the bottom waterline like this. Does that make sense? Your waterline is lash free. That's why a lot of times when people do makeup, put makeup on, they put kind of a light reflective color on this waterline. It makes the eyes look refreshed or, awake. So I'm just doing tiny little lashes. And I'm also going to do the reflection and the reflection. Reflect the reflection of the lashes and the reflection of the light. So that makes that look realistic. Same over here. You can kind of see the lashes. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go in and do some shading in this top. This top right here. For green, this is when I use colors. Kind of thinking about colors, what colors make a certain color eye pop or compatible with eyes. For green eyes, a nice kind of rush, oh gosh, what's the color? Like a rusty brown color for eyeshadow, makes the eyes pop. Purple also makes green eyes pop. And this is when you would kind of, if you can look at the wheel, the color wheel, if you have green, say green eyes are like right around here, sage green over here, you go directly across to see the colors that are going to make the eyes, these green eyes pop. So there's a purple color. I'm going to put that kind of in. Oops, sorry. This is very tedious doing this, but whatever. Put a lavender color on that top lid. You know, I'm going right across the eyelashes because I'm going to come back and work on them a little bit. And this is the eye is done. I'm just doing makeup right now. It's fun. I like doing makeup. Before I found Pigment, I was doing a lot of makeup, just messing around with makeup, my own makeup, because it gave me a creative outlet and it helped me work on my hand, like physical therapy for my hand. And my husband would come home and he never knew what I was going to have on. If I was going to have like a smoky eye with freaking false eyelashes. There were some days where I actually did that. Not many, because that's too much work. But yeah, I was messing around with makeup a lot before I found Pigment. I still do. Sometimes. I do my own makeup, and I think doing my own makeup and studying just the eye on myself helped for years, because I've always liked doing makeup. Helped when I started doing artwork, because it gave me some insight into the actual, the parts of the eyes and colors that go with the color combinations that go with different colors of the eyes. Okay, I'm going to go back in with some brown for the lid, for that outer lid. A lot of times this upper line of the eyelid will come over and then it'll come down and meet like that. I don't know if hers does. It sort of does. No, it doesn't, but but this one is. It comes down. And you kind of have your lower line come out, and it can kind of form this, if you want to do I'm gonna make the eye shadow kind of come out like that. So I'm using browns and lavenders as far as the eyeshadow. It'll be really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna turn off the one where I'm actually talking, and then I'm gonna continue and work on this eye. But my screen is recording, so it'll still record what I'm doing. You can speed it up to see how I finish the eye off. Okay, see y'all in a little bit.